Praise the Lord, church. My testimony is in two folds. One, we've come here to thank God. Today is my sister's birthday, and she was also inducted as a doctor of optometry this year. So the second part of my testimony is in Luke 5:5. This year, I've been the example of, Lord, I have toiled all night, and I have caught nothing. But at thy word, I will lay down my net. In April, just at the time my dad was supposed to turn 40 years as a medical doctor, he did a procedure on somebody and the person died. I'm not going to go into all the details, but he got arrested. His hospital got sealed. And since April, it's been legal fees. Someone even duped me in millions, saying I can help with this case. I had to run to Port Harcourt when there was a news where he was called an organ harvester. He was called a lot of things. And when I got to Port Harcourt, somebody said, since this man is always praying and treating patients, we want to see the God that he serves. And I told God all my life, my dad, or rather my parents, have always said to us, what would Jesus do? Leave that I might be stubborn, I might have stepped out at some point in my youth, but I know how I was brought up. My dad has always held on to God. In the course of all of this, my dad suffered a stroke because he was thinking about it. I remember my mom calling me. I was in church, and she said, something is happening with your dad, but he's arguing with me. And I asked what was happening, and she said, and the little knowledge I have, because I'm a lawyer, but the little knowledge I have, I knew it was a high blood pressure that was leading to a stroke, and I was panicking. Mama came and held my hand and drew me in and told me, you're going to be calm and you will handle this situation. I started making calls, and people came and calmed my dad down. My mom said he was getting better. Everybody believed he was getting better. But I knew that when they said, because I heard him talk and he was drooling. And of course, anybody with the medical knowledge knows that when someone is drooling, there's an issue. 2 weeks later, I went back to Port Harcourt, and I saw that the left side of my dad wasn't functioning well. I had to bring him to Abuja. Long story short, when he saw the medical doctor, I said, you must see a neurologist. He said, no, I'm a general practitioner. A general practitioner can handle this. I said, no, God told me you must see a neurologist. And when he did, and an MRI scan was done, my dad's left side of the brain had a blood clot where blood had not gotten to the left side of his brain for 2 weeks, but he walked into the hospital by himself. He even gave me an injection that day. And the doctor looked at me and said, I've seen your father and I saw him praying. The God, whatever God that this man serves is the one that is holding him up until now. Because when he was admitted, I know how painful the entire treatment he had gone through was. With the sealing of the hospital, it has not been unsealed now, but after praying, Pastor Stevenson joined us to pray, Pastor Timmy, my pastor in the junior church, and their prayer was that this case would be done away with, and which was done. But right now, the government is still making some demands on certification and all of that to unseal. But I'm here to thank God that regardless of all of this, I'm the first child of 8, both biological and non-biological children, and I'm 8 years older than my immediate younger sister. So you would know how that is, paying private university school fees, private secondary school fees. I don't think I have spent a dime and said, it is for me this year. I've cried so many nights this year, but I come here and I smile and I thank God because God is the one keeping me. There was something somebody posted recently and said, if all you're hanging on is a thread, make sure it is the hem of Jesus' garments. I was holding on to Jesus' shirts this year that if there's a way he will turn and that shirt will tear. I thank God for Papa. I don't know what you preach on this stage because you know I'm in junior church, so I get to listen when I get home. The friends that I have made in this church, if I start calling them, I don't know, at the point of a need, there was a friend in this church at one point that I needed 30,000 naira just to get my dad's drugs because I had run empty. She sent me money to my account. I even heard that, OJ, I'm going to call your name. I heard that OJ set up a group where people pray for me at midnight. all the favors that I have received has been from this house. And so I'm here to tell God, thank you for friendship. Thank you for faith. Thank you for this house. Thank you for everything. Because me, 10 years ago, before I came to this church, if I was the one that was going through what I'm going through this year, I would drop my phone, put it off, run away. Nobody will hear from me. But I kept showing up and I kept showing out. Sometimes I print my account balance and I'm like, how? How am I able to afford? This lady's fees here is more than $1 million. As a medical student, me, that I'm not sure that my monthly salary is even up to 500,000, but somehow I've been paying fees and paying medical bills and paying legal fees. And I'm just here to say, yes, it might not be all God healed me and all of that, but I'm here to say that I don't know where this faith is coming from, but God has proven himself to me this year. Thank you very much. With our God, I'm sorry for the tears. I'm a crybaby. I know that most of you don't know that. But I'm just here to thank God. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. Thank you to my friends in this house. You all know yourself. Thank you to the junior church. Thank you to my pastor, Pastor Timi and Chamaka. You all have held my hand this year and made sure that my back no touch ground. I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you.
Church, can you help me just celebrate as we go take our seats?